Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for stopping in. Today we're gonna go over how to grush. Well, grushes and what's involved in them and what's involved in my runs and things like that. So first of all, we're gonna go over the leechers. Okay, most of the people in your group will be a leecher. And the thing that they have to do is first, when Andy goes down, everybody just hug Warov, stay next to Warov, and then as soon as Andy's down, you go immediately to Drognin. Once you run to Drognin, you wait until the Claw Viper temple is clicked. When it goes nighttime, then you'll know, okay, the Rusher's in Lost City if you're not immediately checking in your party screen. And then as soon as it goes daytime again, then you'll know, okay, it's time to talk to Drognin. There'll be a little thing above him. Talk to Drognin. After you do that, it's very important that you go over to Jaren. Now, Colleen or whatever the frig, Kaylin, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter your name, okay? You go over here and you make a town portal. This town portal is for your runner later on. Now we need at least one person, one leecher, to make a town portal. You have a town portal when you start off on your bottom right hand corner, always. So that's where your town portal will be. Only one person should do it just in case there's mess ups later on. Now, as soon as all the stuff is done, everybody just waits here. Being a leecher, again, we're talking about leechers here, the first category here on the top. So you stay here and then wait until Duriel is down. So your runner and your rusher will be doing a bunch of stuff, so it'll take like a minute or two, we'll see. And then you talk to Jaren. After you talk to Jaren, you go back through that TP you created, and then you go to Mashif and sail east. Now, immediately go to Kane, and as soon as Kane is available to talk to, then that's when basically you can go into the portal. Don't go into the Travancore portal. There'll be a Travancore portal here, and then there'll be Endurance of Hate level 3 portal, and we'll, you know, simulate that real quick. So say you're still waiting at Kane right now, right? Say you're still waiting at Kane. And they did Travancore, and you get that quest here. And you talk to Kane, and it says completed. Now you go to Endurance of Hate level 3. This is the only portal you take throughout the whole rush. Other than, you know, the Harem level 1. But this is the only portal, like, in the actual danger zone that you actually take throughout the whole run. Being a leecher. Now, when Mephi's dead, don't go run over here and get yourself killed. Because you are level 1. It's very easy to get wrecked on players 8 at level 1. You can also get hit by these ghosts and things like that. Don't run up here. Just don't. Don't waste anybody's time, man. So, as soon as this bridge pops up, you rush into the portal and you stay here. Or you actually hug Tyrael, and there'll be more things that your runner are doing. Your runner's gonna be ready. It's actually gonna be really fast. Okay, so as soon as you get to Act 4, be ready to go to Act 5. The reason why it's gonna be fast is because the rusher is gonna prep Chaos, and Diablo will be sitting there, and the Diablo will be fairly easy for your rusher to take down on players 8. And then you guys go to Act 5. So be there, be ready, be fast, okay? And then just all you gotta do is gotta wait. That's literally all the rusher has to, or that's all that the leecher has to do the whole run. Very simple. That's it. So one more time for review. We'll just get over it. We're gonna go Warov, right? Then we go Drognin, and then we make a TP. Then we go Jaren, back through the TP, talk to Mashif, Kane, and then Endurance of Hate level 3 portal. And as soon as you go through that big red portal, when the bridge comes up, you go to Tyrael, and then as soon as the red portal is available here, you go through that red portal, and then you just stay in Act 5. Literally, that's the job of a rusher, nothing else. Or a leecher. I keep saying it wrong, but you know what I mean. Leecher, this is purely the leecher's job. Okay, now we're going to talk about runners. Runners, these guys are doing the quests. So, first thing that happens is you go into the catacombs level 4, and this person should be fairly experienced in what they're doing, and that's why I'm making this video. But they should be fairly experienced with some of these things already when you're actually having them. You should be, you know, the rusher and the runner should really be in good communication and know what they're doing with each other if you really want like a good time. If you want a really fast rush, this is how to do it. But you only need one person, and that is the runner. Leecher is everybody else, and the runner is doing all the quests. It's doing all the hard work. It's your slave, essentially. The bumper and the whole Grushes slave, essentially. So he's gonna run through Catacombs 4. And as soon as Andy's down, you come out of Catacombs 4 and you go to Wharf. You go directly to Wharf, and everybody should pretty much almost be up here already, all the leechers. And as the runner, you should be waiting for that Claw Viper level 2 town portal. Okay? Right here. So, as soon as that Claw Viper is there, you kick the altar and then pick up the amulet. Your cube should be dropped at Atma, and you should pick that up. So you pick that up. And then you wait for the staff, which is in Maggot Lair level 3. So as soon as your rusher says, okay, Maggot level 3 is up, and you're ready, go in there, pick it up, make that staff as soon as possible. Then wait for your Arcane Sanctuary. I believe you'll have to talk to Cain to get in the Arcane Sanctuary the first time. And then all you gotta do is basically be there for when the summoner dies. And then after the summoner dies, then you go back and then talk to like anybody in town so you can get to the tombs. And then when you're in the tombs, you go talk to Tyrael, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I'll actually go do that real quick. So let's say, hopefully we can find it real quick here. But I'm just trying to show you. Okay, sweet, first way. So we know that this is, what is this, double chin? Looks like double chin. So the rusher should have, you know, made sure that the summoner doesn't die. He makes a TP. The runner comes in here and waits. Make sure he's like safe and he doesn't get killed. I mean, if he does die, it's okay if it's on softcore. Make sure he doesn't respawn. The runner at any point of the game does not respawn unless the rusher permits that. Otherwise, it can really mess up the run. You need to make a new game. So after the summoner goes down, if he reads all the symbols correctly, again, there's 7 tombs, and the missing emblem will be the correct tomb. So we know that the correct tomb is this double chin, which it's a circle with a, you know, crescent beneath it, but I call it double chin, and in honor of Alara Shade, shout out to Alara Shade. We'll go over what the rusher does in a little bit here. Getting trolled by this map. Wow, getting really trolled. Or we have a backwards map maybe, or we could go really far down. Yeah, we got a backwards map. Something weird's going on here, man. Okay. That's a weird map. But regardless, after the you know, the runner comes in, puts the staff into the orifice, Or Orpheus. You can correct me on my pronunciation in comments. Then you kill Duriel. And the runner comes up through here. And Tyrael will be in this tomb. It'll say Explore Talrash's tomb. And Tyrael will be right here. Now he takes the portal. And then he takes the Harem level 1 portal that the Leechers made earlier. Okay? And then you go talk to Jaren. And then you come back through this portal. Then go to Mashif. After that, you're going to be waiting for Travancore TP, which should be up. If not up already, it should be up soon. And you go in. Everybody else again stays there, but you're the one that goes in as the runner. He kills Trav, try to stay out of trouble. If you do end up dying, stay dead. Stay dead. Okay, that's very, very important. Just make sure you're in like the vicinity of where the Travancore Council actually dies. There's an actual... I'll go over it in a little bit here, I guess. Well, I could go over it now, but while we're in Act 3. Essentially, there's a little bit of a different route that you can do here. And that route is... You put, as a rusher, you put a TP inside here, you clear it out. And then you kill everybody here. And then they all get to grab their cubes. But that takes like a few seconds. You know, it's more generous, but you know, if you're going for like the fastest time you could possibly do this in, then you obviously don't want to waste time while everyone's running to grab their cubes. But that is an option. So, and then after the runner, after the quest is complete here for the runner and everybody, then you talk to Kain, and you wait for that Durance of Hate level 3. And as soon as Durance of Hate level 3 is up, then you go to Act 4. Immediately to Act 4, and this is where it starts to get really fast. As soon as Mephi's down, you run like everybody else into the portal, and everyone else will be running to Tyrael, but you stay here. Wait for that Chaos Sanctuary. Again, we're talking about the runner here. The guy with the most experience. So he is gonna wait for that Chaos TP. And the rusher should have already cleared Chaos Sanctuary, so Chaos should be prepped, is what I like to call it. And we'll just prep Chaos real quick here, so we can show an example. I didn't kill the Sace for... Bad to Sace. Okay, so Chaos is prepped now. But the runner will be going through this TP. As soon as Diablo's dead, you as the runner, as soon as he's dead, because it's going to be really fast, you need to make sure that you don't, again, make sure you do not check any loot. At any part of this run, don't check any loot, just go. This is normal, first of all. In Nightmare and Hell, you pretty much do the same thing. We'll cover that in a minute. But like, don't check loot. If you die, it wastes time. Technically, you know, if you were to die from Fire Nova and then you stayed dead, if you hit escape, you spawn back in town. So you could argue maybe it is faster. I don't know. I don't know. Because you could see exactly when Diablo's dead. But again, I'm talking about the runner here. But regardless, when Diablo's dead, you need to be here and go through that red portal that spawns here. Get into Act 5 and be there ASAP. Now, if it's a socket quest rush, then you go into this portal ASAP. As soon as possible, as soon as this is up, which will be up very fast because all the rusher has to do is kill Diablo, go back to town, and make a frigid TP. Very, very fast. And then, yeah, and that's pretty much it for the socket quest. Now, we're actually gonna, well, as the runner, you just stay here and then you make the next game. Well, you can determine who makes the next game, you know, before you start the rush and all that stuff. But usually, if you make the runner do it, because he's doing everything else already, it's simple It's straightforward. But again, you sit in town with everybody else. Now, we're going to talk about the bumper and what he does, okay, while all this stuff is going on. So, the bumper, everybody else is doing all the stuff that I just explained, right? Now, the bumper, he should be level 40 at least. Now, no matter what character he is, like, he should be able to at least get to the throne, okay? At the very least. You won't have, nobody will have to do the ancients and normal, and we'll share and show what changes later on in Nightmare. But what he should be doing as the level 40 bumper, at least level 40 bumper, he should be getting thrown up at the very least. Now, the more that he can do while you are doing all these things, like if he can get Bale to 1 HP while you're doing the whole rush, that's like best case scenario. So, but like if he's a barbarian, he could probably just get the throne up. But if he's a sorceress, he could probably kill all the waves. It might take a little time, it might take some struggle, but he could probably kill all the waves and then static Bale down just a little bit and wait for everybody. But he should have a TP here, always, okay, as the bumper. As soon as you make it to the throne, make a TP there. Alright. If the rusher is there early and you're still in Worldstone for some reason, make a TP there. Honestly, like, whenever the rusher gets to Act 5, again, the rusher, whenever he gets to Act 5, you need to have a town portal open. So, doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a wave, it doesn't matter if you're about to get Bale one shot or not, he needs to be there ASAP. So, your portal needs to be always open. It needs to be open before it gets to Act 5, essentially. So, again, the bumper will be doing this job. He'll be killing the waves. Obviously, I'm level 90, so I'm not like a level 40 in this scenario, so it's going a lot faster than it normally would. And he'll actually get some XP too from this because it's players 8. He's by himself, so he's getting all the XP for himself. Now, again, make sure no matter if you are in the Worldstone, just TP. Doesn't matter. Your rusher should have teleport. Like, if you're using a rusher that doesn't have teleport, then enjoy. But like... But you want that, you want to be able to static him down as much as possible. And obviously your Merc will probably not kill him. You know, keeping him low health is good. That's pretty much, but make sure he doesn't die before the rusher gets there like that. So, but just make him low health, and then when everybody's in Act 5, just let your rusher do the rest. Now, after the game is over, ultimately, you have the bumper take place of what the runner was doing because he's tankier. So if you have 2 really good runners, then the bumper takes place of the runner for the next difficulty, Nightmare and Hell. Now the only thing that's different from Nightmare, from normal to Nightmare, is the Ancients, okay? And now I'll tell everybody's role, because we're talking about Nightmare now. I'll talk about everybody's role here. And that role is... essentially, that bumper needs to be in that area at Summit TP as soon as possible. As soon as possible. So as soon as you see it popped up, area at Summit, you go in there. Bam. And you just like, if you're a barb, BO, if you're, you know, if you're anything that's helpful, try to help out. Again, if you die, stay dead though. But that is pretty much the only responsibility that you have, and then you wait for the for the throne room TP, and you stay in there, and you stay with the rusher and try to stay alive as best as you can. If you die, it's okay, just make sure that you get back in there as fast as possible in the throne. Now if you die at Baal, make sure you stay dead until Baal is actually dead, if that makes sense. Now I will talk about what each one of these things means. Again, if you don't know what a bumper is the level 40 that I explained at the start. He's the guy that is not in Nightmare yet, but he's level 40 at least. Well, he can technically be level 21 or 20, depending on how much work you guys want to do. But like ultimately, you want him to be level 40 for a Grush. You can have like a level 20 and then a level 40. You can do that, but it's like best to not do that stuff. It's best to have one bumper that we can have more rushers and have more people going through the game as fast as possible. Now, we can talk about the rusher. Now, the rusher is my job usually. Me as the level, or me as the sorceress. It's best to do this on a Hammerden, but in normal, it's better to do it on a sorceress because the FCR breakpoints. But we're gonna talk about directions here, and if you're not familiar with directions, I made a video on how to read tile sets and common language and things like that. But this is what the rusher has to do essentially. We'll actually make a new game for this because there'll be new maps. So as soon as you're ready to go, you tell everybody, you know, like 3, 2, 1, go, if you're timing it. Keep drinking potions, lol. Your bumper goes and gets thrown up and goes as far as he can to killing Baal without killing Baal, and then your runner gets ready and everybody else hugs Warv. You go right of the waypoint, okay? That's what you want to do. You want to go right of the waypoint to get that Catacombs level 3. Now, Catacombs level 4 is unfortunately random. The more you're familiar with these maps, the more it can help you out with clues and different tile sets. I've talked about this in the past. Again, check out that video if you don't know what I'm talking about here. Make that TP open, and then immediately, as soon as you see the green here, as soon as you see green name when you're partied up, that's when you kill Andy. And then you go back through immediately to Lost City, assuming that you're a teleporter and you have the waypoints. So you go to Lost City. Lost City can only be, or I guess it's Lost City Claw Viper. The area will go dark, which is normal, and then there's only 3 different exits to go find the Claw Viper Temple or Valley of the Snakes, and that is in the straight up north, in the west, or in the east. Okay, those are your only options as the rusher. So in this case, that's the Far Oasis, so which means we know that it's in the east. So we last wayed technically here. But that's Valley of the Snakes. And then we go left in the Claw Viper Temple to find level 2. Gotta be careful of backwards maps. Also, be aware that it can actually just spawn right there. So you could have one telly and it could be right there. And that's like a backwards map. Depending on the situation, like if you have Holy Freeze Mercenary, you want to kill Fang Skin before you make a TP. Purely because Fang Skin is lightning enchanted, and you don't want to kill your runner because that wastes a lot of time. So kill as much as you possibly can to make it safe as possible without wasting as much time as possible. So he hits up the altar, you go back, you drop your cube here, okay? Right as soon as you go back through, you drop your cube here because your runner's going to be expecting that to make the Herodric staff later on. And then you go to Far Oasis. And you'll get your cube back at Travancore, so you don't have to worry about that. You'll get it in Act 3. Don't worry about it. Now there's certain methods to finding the Far Oasis maggot lair. It's not the easiest find, but I like to stay in the center because it can't spawn super next to the edge. So I like to stay in kind of the center of the areas. I think it's in the top right now. There we go. So that's about as close to the edge as it gets. And then you go right in the maggot layer level 1. And the maggot layer level 2. Those are both right. And then in maggot layer level 3, it's a static map. It's always, well, it's not like a static map, but the static directions, which means it's always in the northeast. It's always straight. Then you open up the TP. Honestly, if you open up a TP and then telekinesis or click the chest, that's like best for your runner. So that way you can just get in there, click it, and then get out as soon as possible. Make sure it's safe again. That's your job, to make sure it's safe. Now that you have Maggot Lair done, you're safe to go to Arcane Sanctuary, as long as everyone's done their job. And you just hope they don't get last wave. Something that you can do, I always like going top right or top left first. Purely because you can actually see if this is the direction right now. You would be able to see the bottom of the summoner's like area, I guess you could call it. Like early. You don't even have to go up here. You can tell it like, you can see if it's that direction like 3 teleports early. It saves a little bit of time. Not a big deal, but it is a thing. Spilling water everywhere. Rip. Alright, so we know it's not this way again because it was not, we couldn't see it from over there. So it's either bottom left or bottom right. There's really no trick to being able to tell it's there until you see the L shape here. There'll be another L shape on the other side because it always has to curve. And then make sure it's clear. Don't kill the summoner until your runner's here, of course. And while you're waiting for your runner, if you have that TP up and it's clean, then make sure you're like checking these. A good runner always knows the symbols. In this case, the symbol is square. So you want to hit that. And you'll probably get a verification from your runner that the emblem is square. So they'll give you a little like, you know, square. And then you go left. Lots and lots of left. Make sure this area is clear, of course. And TP. Then he'll do the orifice. While he's doing that, what you need to do is actually go back to town really quick. And obviously it should have been clear, so that he doesn't die when you're going back to town. You need to go sell this and buy it back. If you didn't already buy like 2 TP tomes. But that's during then. While that's happening. Because if you don't buy TPs, then all the teleporting you're doing is all for naught. So it actually doesn't matter if when you kill Duriel, he's in here or not, so you can kill him as fast as possible. Again, your runner needs to be running to Tyrael. You, on the other hand, need to get to Act 4 as soon as possible. We're gonna skip Act 3 for now, because everybody has to be running through. There's a bunch of things that they have to do before they can actually get to Act 3. So we're gonna take advantage of that time, because it's a guaranteed amount of time that they're gonna be busy for a while, essentially. And we're gonna clear chaos as fast as possible to prep it for them when we get to Act 4. So we're prepping Act 4, and then immediately as soon as we pop all the seals, and the last boss is down. I chose Vizier in this scenario. You go to Travancore, and you make a safe TP. I like in here, in normal, in nightmare, it depends on the situation, and in hell, get it as safe as possible. There's monsters everywhere sometimes. And then as soon as your runner's in here, you kill everything as fast as possible. Then you go back through your TP, go to Durance, and it's always left from the waypoint. We got the perfect lineup here. Now, one thing you have to be aware of as the runner, this is a thing that has to happen, or the rusher. This has to happen sometimes. You might need to kill Travancore. In this scenario, you don't have to kill the Underground Council Travancore. I call them Underground Council Travancore, whatever. You know what I mean? These guys, the council members, sometimes you have to kill them because if they're standing here, they can easily throw Hydra on your town portal that you put here. So don't make a town portal until it is clear and until you've killed the Travancore Council or the Council, whatever you want to call them. If they're close. If they're far away like they were, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just hope that they didn't farcast on you, which essentially means that they didn't cast on you while you were tallying to the next area, and hope that RNG, you know, there's no Hydra that spawns here like 2 or 3 screens away. Other than that, as long as you stay out of that area, you're fine. But it's safest always, if you're on hardcore, I would just always clear this up. Always clear this up. Then you kill Mephisto, and you can do one of 2 things. You can either go right to Act 4, like that, or you can use your TP, and then River of Flame. I haven't really seen a better method. Either one just is like, kind of is the same. Then you gotta teleport here as fast as possible. And you make your TP here. To make sure that, well, it should be like behind, but he needs to hug that wall. And then you kill Diablo as soon as you see the green again. Green monster, or green player means green light. Lots of items there, holy crap. So then if you're doing a socket quest rush, you make a TP here, hopefully safe. Clear it out. As soon as you got the green light, you're good to go, as long as everyone's doing their job. As the rusher, if you really want to be careful and responsible, you should be checking all the party members and see where they're at as well, just to make sure no one gets, you know, far behind. But if you're going for the fastest time, if they snooze, they lose. It's up to you and your decisions. Now your next job. Say you're doing that rush. Okay, it'll look a little differently. Back up in time here for a moment. Say you just killed Diablo. Go up here through the red portal. And then go into that Worldstone Keep / throne room / Worldstone Chamber portal that your bumper made. It should be here. And you should just go right through it. And then you're in throne and you carry on wherever your bumper left off to finish the run. And then you go to Nightmare. And then you rinse and repeat. You do exactly the same thing, except we'll go back here again, back in time. Let's say this is Nightmare Act 4. We just killed Diablo. Now, you have to go straight from the waypoint here to go find Ariat Summit. False exit. So there you go. There's Ariat Summit. Straight from the waypoint. You make that TP as soon as possible. Again, if your Grusher, or your bumper rather, is a barbarian, try to get BO or something for free. If you have CTA and you're fully geared, then screw it. Just Just go as fast as possible. You kill the ancients. Then you go back. And now it's your turn to do the world stone and the throne room and all that stuff. And as soon as you get to the throne room and it's safe, you can have your bumper get some extra XP again if he's interested. So you just make a TP and be like, alright, you can go in, it's safe or whatever. He'll get some extra XP. The only thing he has to be here for is when Bale dies. So World Stone Chamber, he needs to be in there before you kill Bale. Otherwise it won't work. But that's pretty much it. That is Grushing in Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction in the expansion pack. Now crushing is a different thing. I could, I guess, cover that in another section. There's some rules to that. I'm not a pro at crushing because for most of my life I've played Lord of Destruction, but I know some things about it. So again, as long as everyone's doing their job, you're gonna have really fast times. My current time, as of today's date, 12/28/2018, was like 22:27 or something on an H10 125 FCR. So you can do it in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. But you can, like, sometimes it used to be like, you know, an hour for Grushes. Whenever I've had Grushes online from some random guy, like, it's always like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. And like, it's always like an hour or something. They're like, oh, I gotta go, you know, pick up some food real quick. Like, what? I'm in a Grush. Like, let's get this done. So, as long as everyone's working together, everyone's doing their job, you can get a really, really fast time. So, yeah. That's pretty much that. So if you enjoyed that video and learned something, be sure to hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Why not, right? Helps me out. It's free. You can see more videos and guides in the future. Thank you all for stopping in. Love you all, you beasts.